In Iranian calendar, today is the day of commemoration and remembering one of the great figures in the history of Shia, and that is Sheikh Saduq Rahmatullah alayh ibn Babawayh. He is one of the most outstanding figures in the history of Shia. In the 4th century in Islamic calendar, 10th century in the Gregorian calendar. Sheikh Saduq is you can say, the top figure in the school of Qom. We have different theological schools within Shia. The first one is the school of Kufa. So Kufa is the city of Ahlul Bayt. Kufa is the place that the Amir al-Mu'mineen was there, Shia was there. And actually it's from Kufa that Shia spread into Persia. You know, at the time of Muawiyah, then Ziyad was chosen as the governor of Kufa. Then Muawiyah commanded Ziyad to kill Shia or to exile them. So it was Zayd Ziyad who exiled Shia from Kufa into Iran. In one occasion, 50,000, they go to Khurasan, they go to Qom. Ash'aris, they go to Qom and they settle in Qom. And this is how Shia enters into Iran. So one of these fake fantasies that the Wahhabis have, they say that, Iranians, they wanted to take revenge from Islam. So they said that we have to make Islam from ourselves. So they created Shia to fight the real Islam. Well, it has nothing to do in the historical facts. Shia, they were in Kufa, they were exiled by Umayyads. And Iranians at the beginning, they were very severe Umayyads, you know that. There is a book, Ahsan al-Taqasim, by a Sunni scholar, Maqdisi. This is one of the first geographical books of Islamic world. This Maqdisi traveled in different Muslim lands and he met different lands, and so he has written a geographical book by the name Ahsan al-Taqasim. He there mentions the story of him going to Isfahan. He says, I was told that in Isfahan there is a great alim. They told me, if you reach to Isfahan, go and meet him. This is the 3rd century and 4th century, 3rd and 4th. He says, I went there, I found the scholar, and I started talking to him. Then we mentioned the name of Muawiyah. He said Muawiyah was a great prophet of Allah. I was shocked. I said, no, Muawiyah was a king, and before Muawiyah we had 4 caliphs. He said, no, all those 5 people were prophets. Muawiyah is a prophet. And I said, no, that's not true. Muawiyah was not a prophet. Then I began arguing with him. Somebody called me and said, these people will kill you, just run away. He said, last week there was somebody saying the same things, these people killed him. Just run away. He says, I immediately ran away and I joined to the caravan to find a shelter, not to be killed by those people. So there were such severe Nasibis and Umayyads there in Iran at the beginning because of the propaganda that Umayyads had. But later on, people came to read books, came to understand by the struggles that the ulama had especially in Qom, in Ray, in Khurasan. And these areas were not Shia. Late Sheikh Saduq rahmatullah alayh, he was he's the greatest figure of the school of Qom. Then the school of Kufa was weakened. Then there was a decline in the school of Kufa. So the school of Qom becomes stronger than Kufa. And this is a Hadithi school that lots of Hadithi books are written there. Sheikh Saduq rahmatullah alayhi himself, he has collected more than 300 books. That big number of those books are not available. We just know the books in the Rijali books. But anyhow, the remaining books are great sources for us. Like Man La Yahzuruhu al-Faqih, one of the main 4 books of Shia, Ilal al-Shara'i, Khisal, Ma'an al-Akhbar. These are the great books. Sifat al-Shia, the books written by Sheikh Saduq rahmatullah alayh. Then after a while he travels and moves from Qom to Ray and from Ray to Khurasan, and after Khurasan he goes to Hamadan. So this traveling in different cities, now people come to learn. People come to know about this school. And what matters is that how much these people are open-minded. One of the important things that we can learn about their life is that something that we lack it today is the tolerance. At the time that Sheikh Saduq is in Qom, we have Sheikh Mufid in Baghdad. Sheikh Mufid and his students, Sayyid Morteza rahmatullah alayhima, these are the outstanding figures of the school of Baghdad. Sheikh Mufid is a very intellectual person. Sheikh Saduq is very hadisi. There are severe debates among them. Sometimes it gets so hot that is the debate. But the point is that at the same time they tolerate each other. This tolerance is something that we miss it today. And unfortunately, by coming of the powerful political players in the region, especially Safavids in Iran and Uthmanis in the Sunni world. These two political powers, from both sides, they came to sort of hijack the religion and the school in their own interest to fight and attack the other. So what happens here that religion is taken as a leverage for the political intentions. Of course, this begins from the 6th century and 7th century. Sheikh Mufid rahmatullah alayhi, he is such a great alim of Shia. His teachers are Sunni. Mufid, his name is Muhammad bin Nu'man. The title Mufid is given to him by one of his Sunni scholars, by one of his Sunni teachers. And his students are Sunni. Every day he used to teach the fiqh of Hanafis to Hanafis, Shafi'is to Shafi'is, Malikis to Malikis, Hanbalis to Hanbalis, and Ja'faris to the followers of Ahlul Bayt. They were together. Sheikh Tusi rahmatullah alayhi, he is Sheikh al-Taifa. Means if we say Sheikh without any name, is Sheikh Tusi rahmatullah alayhi, the student of Sheikh Mufid. He is, when he moved from Khurasan to Baghdad, Abbasid caliph gave him the authority of teaching Ilm al-Kalam in Baghdad. It is like today if, for example, the Saudi king to choose Ayatollah Subhani to teach as the head of the University of Medina. It's impossible. Later on, what we see in both schools, unfortunately, this happens. There is a book, Al-Mufhim, this is the 7th century. Al-Mufhim, it has written to answer the questions concerning Sahih Muslim. Then he comes to say in that book that when we put all the proofs and arguments together, then we see that the Khilafah of Abu Bakr and Khilafah of Umar was from Zaruriyat. Zaruriyat means the very clear realities that there is no doubt about it. That if anybody rejects it, is out of Islam. Well, this is not the fact. This is not true. In Sahih Muslim, Sahaba came and said to Umar that choosing Abu Bakr was a mistake. And Umar goes on a member and says, yes, بيعة أبي بكر كانت فلتة ولكن لقل الله شرها. It was a mistake. We rushed to do that, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected us from the negative consequences of that. There are lots of such proofs. There were arguments among Sahaba. When Abu Bakr chose Umar as the Khalifa, people came and complained. They said, what are you going to answer before Allah if he asks why you chose such a hard person on Muslims? Abu Bakr said, I will answer Allah myself. So that the best part that the discussions were there. Who says that this is so clear and obvious? But unfortunately from that time, so he comes to say that anyone who has doubt in the Khilafah of Abu Bakr and Umar is not Muslim. Then all Ismailis, Zaydis, 12 Imam Shias, all are kafir. Now from that time we see that every day Shia is being killed here and there because they are kafir, they don't accept Khulafa. And then we see even in our books, our ulama, they come to say anyone who doesn't accept Imam is kafir. not having tolerance. Otherwise, they used to be together, they used to live together, and it wasn't like this. Tolerance. So this is one of the important things that we find in the lifestyle of these ulama, and this is something that we needed today. We believe that Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam are the true authority after the Prophet. We believe that this is the better Islam. But at the same time, we shouldn't say that because this is not from Zaruriya, this is not from Badihiyya, this was not so obvious. Even at that time, you see that there are lots of arguments. So the Imama and the Visaya, it was not as clear as the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad to say anyone who denies is kafir. There were arguments, even at that time there were arguments. Lady Fatima al-Zahra goes and argues with them, Amirul Mu'minin argues with them. Why? Because this is not, because there were political agendas. So what is important is that you have your ideas, you believe in what you believe, you consider what you believe to be right, but you should give a chance to the others as well. Allah will judge among us. Allah will judge, and Allah is the best judge. So we see that Muslims till 6th century, they don't have problems that we have today. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're out of time, to give such wisdom and insight to all Muslim ulama, because these problems come from ulama. There was a unity conference for the Palestine some years ago, and in the conference there was a Palestinian lecturer, and when he came to lecture, he said, you are here from Shia and Sunni ulama. He said that you are here to establish unity. وَالْفِتْنَةُ تَحْتَ أَمَائِمِكُمْ هَذِهِ. The fitna is under this turban sitting here. And that is the fact. You are the ones who issue fatwa, this is kafir, kill him, that is kafir, kill him. Otherwise, people, they don't have any problem with each other. If you let people live, they don't have any problem with each other. It is this ulama who provoke people. They issue fatwa, kill this thing, kill that person, kill him, kill her. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give such a wisdom to ulama of Islam, to find the necessities, and inshallah to bring real unity and peace among the people of Qibla and